Hawks win! Hawks win 6-2 over the Edmonton Oilers tonight in Edmonton. Yes, I did my live reactions to tonight's victory over the Oilers, and yes, it was a good one. I had fun doing this live stream tonight, talking to you guys while watching the Hawks. And well, the Hawks take it to their 5th win in a row for the first time this year. Doesn't that feel great? They actually are now 1 point out of the playoffs. Yes, 1 point out of a playoff race. They have actually make that 3 points out of a playoff spot. My bad. They are currently sitting behind the Edmonton Oilers, who we just beat today. Because the Hawks have played more games. They passed the Anaheim Ducks after tonight's victory. They have to jump the Oilers, jump the Coyotes, jump the Avalanche, jump the Blues, and jump our next opponent in the Vancouver Canucks. The Hawks take this game in Edmonton by coming back into the third period to finally play probably their best period of hockey all season. I'm saying that right now because Edmonton, after allowing the tying goal go in, just looked depleted and did not look motivated for the rest of the game. And yes, it really showed. My pick to click for tonight's game was Drake Caggiula because he was playing in his old stadium, against his old team. And he actually had another great game in a Blackhawks uniform. But we aren't talking about the stats right now. But I would like to go over the shots on net. In the first period, Edmonton outshot us, mainly because of 4 stupid penalties that the Hawks took. The Edmonton Oilers took 16 shots in the first period to the Hawks 9. Second period, the Hawks had 12 shots on net to the Oilers 7. Hawks outshot them. In the third period, this was the best period because the Hawks scored a bunch of beauties. The Hawks had 14 shots on net and the Oilers had 4. So total shots on net to the Blackhawks, 35 shots for the Hawks and 27 shots to the Oilers. Wardo played a great game in net for the Blackhawks yet again, and he is playing some of the best hockey he's played in a while right now. But let's now go over to the goals of the game. In the first period, at 1:55 in the first period, on the power play, literally 4 seconds after the power play started, Jonathan Toews wins the faceoff, gets it over to Erik Gustafsson, and Gustafsson scores to make it 1-0 Hawks at 1:55 in the first period. That is Gustafsson's 11th goal of this season, and Toews extends his point streak to 4 games now. For the Oilers, at 16:41 on the power play, Leon Draisaitl scores his first goal of the night, 30th of the season, assisted by McDavid and Nurse. And that was on a power play goal. And on the power play at 18:45 in the first period, Leon Draisaitl yet again scores his second goal of the night, 31st of the season, assisted by McDavid and Nugent Hopkins to make it 2-1 Oilers after 1. The reason why I said yes on the power play, the Hawks took 4 penalties in the last 4 minutes of the period. Let's go over these penalties. The penalty that led to the Hawks goal by Gustafson, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was sent to the box for slashing Alex DeBrincat. At 10:30 in the first period, Kyle Brorzdinak was called of the Edmonton Oilers was sent to the box for holding against John Hayden. Hawks did not score on that power play. But at 16:02, this is when the power penalties started racking up for the Hawks. Connor Murphy was sent for boarding at 17:34 in the first period. Carl Dahlstrom sent to the box for tripping Tyrati. At 18:27 in the first period, Marcus Kruger sent to the box for hooking. In the first period at 19:34 in the first period, Carl Dahlstrom again takes a stupid penalty for hooking Connor McDavid, and he was sent to the box. Oh my God! After that run of penalties happened that led to the Oilers taking the lead after 1, I said the Hawks just look depleted. They need a power play or something to gain momentum. Well, they didn't get a power play until the third period. But in the second period, no penalties were called. No goals were scored. So the Hawks going into the third period are down 1 goal still. But at 3:50 in the third period, scored by John Hayden, his 3rd of the season, assisted by Kruger and Kunitz to make it a 2-2 game, and the Hawks are back in it, tied game, and this momentum from that goal continues. At 5:23 in the third period, Dylan Strome scores his 13th goal of the season. I believe that's now his 8th goal with the Blackhawks, assisted by Cahoon and DeBrincat to make it a 3-2 Blackhawks lead at 5:23 in the third period. Literally 20 seconds later, scored by number 88, his 32nd goal of this season, Patrick Kane, assisted by Saad and Anisimov to make it 4-2. Hawks chase out Cam Talbot after that goal went in because Talbot allowed 3 goals in literally 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes. Kaner on that goal made it a great one to take the lead, to pat on the lead. But at 6:38 in the third period, scored by number 91 in his old against his old team, Drake Caggiula scores his 2nd goal as a Chicago Blackhawk, 9th of the season, assisted by Taze and Kane to make it 5-2 Hawks over the overpaid goalie and Koskinen. And at 12:12 in the third period, that time works well. 12 plus 12 equals 24. Scored by number 24, Dominic Cahoon, on the power play, his 9th of the season, assisted by Seabrook and Saad, and the Hawks get it to 6-2 at the end of the game. Hawks win 6-2 over the Oilers. I was happy they didn't keep racking them up on them, because after that series of 3 goals in less than 2.5 minutes went in for the Hawks, They look like the Oilers just look dead and look like they lost all confidence. But I have to mention this. Edmonton fans got so mad a fan threw their jersey out onto the ice. Yes. That's not... I thought that was a Toronto thing if their team sucks. Apparently not. Edmonton just did it today. I don't know what to say. Edmonton is on a rough time. Peter Chiarelli really screwed them, even though he's no longer the GM of the team, but he really screwed that franchise. Honestly, power play kept it going. Hawks keep it momentum up, and and Kane continues his point streak, which is great to see. This team is playing resilient hockey, no quit hockey, and I love seeing that. And yet, they are also in a chance of making a playoff push. Would you love to see that if they make the playoffs? Oh boy, I would, but it's still, in my opinion, if we make the playoffs, it's going to be a tough time to make it out of the first round. This team this year right now, at this point, on a 5-game winning streak, playing some of their best hockey, it's showing the Hawks are not wanting to give it up. Kaner is putting them on his back and they're riding it. Taze is stepping up. This is Taze's best season statistically, and it's great seeing that. The acquisition of Drake Caggiula and him going on the line of Taze and Kane, instant chemistry, which is great. It reminds me of the 2013 line of Bickle, Taze, and Kane. I love that line, and that was probably one of my favorite lines of all time. But this line right now, Caggiula, Taze, and Kane, it's a good one. We got a good hitting player in Caggiula, good sniper in Kane, and a good two-way forward in Taze. Taze is I can't get over it. Taze is having his best season statistically, and the doubters are proven wrong. So, honestly, another great win by the Blackhawks over the Edmonton Oilers this time. They did not get swept by the Oilers, which thank God. And now we are going back to Chicago with momentum on our hand. Maybe we beat the Canucks, hopefully, but we'll see. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the 3 stars of the night. Let's go to it. From your Blackhawks, number 30 in net with a total of facing 27 goal shots, making 25 saves. Cam Ward with the 3rd star of the night. For the Edmonton Oilers, number 29 with 2 goals on the night, Leon Draisaitl. And from your Blackhawks, your captain, number 19, Jonathan Toews, with 2 assists on the night. You really don't see that happen, but Toews, he had a hell of a game, face-off-wise. He played that good of a hockey game. He kept it where he deserved the 1st star of the night. This night on 3 stars, I really can't disagree with it at all. Like there's been times that I have before. But honestly, it was a fun game. So leave your comment down below what your takes were from tonight's game. What you thought happened to Edmonton going at the end in the 3rd period, because they just looked depleted going into it. And I thank you for watching the broadcast. I know you enjoyed the outcome. Hawks win 6-2 over the Edmonton Oilers. And please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks!